Alright, alright. I think we are live.
Yep.
Okay, so hello everyone, I am Endy and this is Rockman World, also known as Dr. Wily's Revenge in the Western countries. I recently grabbed the world record in this game and now we're gonna try to make a run of it, but the game is impossible, so don't expect too much. In any way, we will do a countdown and start in 3, 2, 1 and go! So,
Good luck.
we are starting off with Cutman here, because Cutman's weapon is very overpowered and it's also the best route for the speedrun. So, we'll see here what happens. This is also the hardest stage, a lot can go wrong, so I'm gonna focus a bit here in the beginning. Yep. Things are going bad already. I blame marathon nerves. It's fine though. The problem is, if you lose health in this stage, you are likely to run into issues in the boss fight. Because the Cutman boss fight is incredibly hard. So we might actually take a death in the boss fight, but hopefully we don't have to. We'll see what happens. Oh well. I can take one hit from Cutman, you usually can take 2 or 3 and you usually need it, so we'll see what happens. Keep away, Cutman. Well, that was bad RNG. It is fine though. E-dash. My daughter is here. So, Cutman moves randomly as you can see, and you can manipulate it to a certain extent, but you usually take 2 hits. That was a decent fight, so if we would have had that from the beginning, it would have been fine. But it's okay. It is okay. So, with Cutman out of the way, the hardest part of the run are done. So, we're going over to Elecman, which is the second hardest stage of the run. Ida, gå upp till mamma. So, there's a lot of buffers I kind of constructed here for these Yoke blocks. Easy peasy. That trick is really hard, catching the one cycle there. So basically this stage is all about buffers, knowing where to jump to get the optimal, trying to do it as optimal as possible, both with the Elec beams here and the jumps here. So 7 jumps there, which makes the timing perfect. Okay, nice. We also have, this is like a combination of Mega Man 1 and 2. This came out after Mega Man 2, I think, but still, it has some elements from both games, like this unnecessary airman section in Elecman. I don't know why they put it here, but who am I to question? We're trying to catch a 1 cycle here. Oh, we got it. Whew. Scary. Scary, scary. So, the hardest strat in the game is coming up pretty soon. It would be pretty nice if I got it in a marathon. It's called the Sheikah Room. It's cycle based, and I'm gonna try to catch. Oh, that was close. Well, I went for it, so now I'm gonna lose a lot of time instead. Because if you fail it, you will lose like 1,000,000 seconds, as you can see, but it's worth going for. It saves 2 seconds if you get it. It's extremely hard, so I didn't expect to get it. It's most people. There's probably only 3 people going for it, and that's me, Tremaine, and Prissy. No one else bothers because it's too hard, and you lose too much time if you fail. It's fine though. Okay, Elecman is about as hard as he is in the NES version, which is like not at all. As long as you have 4 health, you can tank 1 hit and just kill him.
Do we have time for a donation?
Alright, let's see here.
We had 3 donations.
We're going to Iceman, which is of course weak to Elecman's weapon. The sound in this game in general is pretty good, I think, for a Game Boy game. This stage is the exception because the sound is very high-pitched compared to the NES version of the soundtrack, which makes it bad. I think the other songs hold up pretty well, especially the Wily 1 song, which we're gonna hear pretty soon. If we don't die on the way. Mercy killed the run. Oh, you can see that drop there. I actually found drops in this game are super dangerous because, kind of like Mega Man 1 for NES, if you get a drop and you jump into it, it kind of drags you down. So it actually, there are spikes on this stage as you can see, and if you get a drop over a spike you can basically die. I found a pretty neat setup though. If you jump in the correct way, you can catch the drops on your way up and their way down. In that case you will move through them, but it's always a time loss getting a drop. It costs roughly 8 frames for every drop you get in this game. It actually adds up quite a lot, so it can actually make the difference between a record or not. Oh, I'm seeing something in Discord here. It's something I don't hear. Let's see if I don't have my headphones on because they mess up with my game sound. Alright, don't need to worry, that's good. So, Fireman stage. Probably the hardest stage in the game in the speedrun before you learn it. It's the hardest one to learn. If things start to go wrong, it can snowball pretty fast. Because health management is pretty scary in this stage. And there's a lot of one-hit kill spots, as you can see. Whoops, that was scary. Unnecessarily scary. So let's see here. It's going okay so far. See what we can do here. Shout outs to Prissy for this lag reduction strat here. Unlucky drops. You also freeze. The entire game freezes when you get a drop, as you can see. Which is really dangerous because it eats your jump input when it happens. So you really need to be aware of that. Drops have killed countless runs for many runners in this game, including my own. And also what I forgot to mention, the elec beams I'm doing here has to be done at a very specific timing, otherwise you won't kill the enemies in one hit. And there, it's kind of weird, you see how I hesitated there? It's because the elec beam, the hitbox or the active range of it is actually longer than it appears, so even if it exits the screen, you can't shoot another one. Unless it's despawned completely, and that happens off screen. I have some baby rage in the house. My daughter's recently been sick, so her day and night schedule is kind of messed up. So I do apologize about that. Okay, Wily stages, which also has some of the best music in the game. Okay, it's also exclusive to this game, I think. So it's not a remake of other songs like the rest of the Robot Master stages. So as long as you know what to do here, it's not terribly difficult, at least not the start of this stage. It becomes really scary later on though. I really hope I can pull it off. Make a slight jump to manipulate that sniper yo. You can imagine how annoying this section is if you get drops, but I didn't get any drops, thankfully. The drop luck is actually pretty good here. You need that health because there's a tricky section coming up where you have to take a couple of damage boosts in a mold room. So we'll see what happens here. This is the hardest, one of the hardest strats in the game. See if we got it. Nope, we didn't get it. This is bad. Now we have to do it the conventional way, which is super slow here. These things do a ton of damage, and if you get the correct pattern there, you can manipulate so you only need to take 3 damage boosts. If I would have continued on there, I would have died, so also a bit unfortunate, but it's okay. Now we're going to fight Quickman from Mega Man 2. I always call this refights, but it's not refights technically, since you don't fight the same Robot Masters again. Those are pretty good quick fights. I'll take it. Alltså kan du ta upp henne en liten stund bara? So, did some nice manipulation there. I can't really explain since it's a war going on in my home, but I hope the gameplay will talk for itself right here. I can't fiddle with the settings either. So Bubble Man, just like the NES version, he's super laggy, and depending on what pattern it gives you, it can cause quite a bit extra lag. That was actually good. Decent fights. I'm waiting to pick up the health here because too many game sound things at the same time kind of lags up the entire game. Wow, that was a really good bubble fight actually. Alright, let's go to Heatman. Just like the NES version, he can delay either 30, 60 or 90 frames on his attacks. We are hoping for 30 frames. Unbelievable. You always get this in the, well, the not so good runs. We just saved like 2 seconds on the world record on Heatman there because he gave us a double 30, which never happens. Oh well. You're basically trying to get 5 hits in on every cycle on Anchor, which is the only exclusive Robot Master to this game. He's like the Mega Man killer in the lore or something. That was decent. So, we're going up to the final stage of the game, Wily 2. So, let's see what happens here. Oh, you also need to mash A and B in the cutscenes. If you don't, oops, if you don't mash in the cutscenes, you will actually get an extra cutscene. Takes like 20 seconds, which I didn't know when I started to run this game, so it's kind of annoying. Right, we took a hit there in the beginning on that sniper yo, which is not super great, because health... Oh, nice. Okay, is that enough? Health management is very important in this stage. You have to be able to take a hit from the Wily machine, because you usually, almost always, take a hit. But it's fun. So, let's see what happens here. These are the most annoying sections in the game. You might wonder why I don't use my carry item to place more artificial platforms like this. The problem is you can only have one on screen at the same time. You saw that drop there drag me to the ground. So that is why you don't want drops over pits. Whoops, okay, I forgot the scrap there. I should have de-rusted more. It's been a couple of weeks since I played this now. I played this pretty hard. We had a fierce world record battle in this game. This game has had a lot of activity lately. Prissy and I picked it up, and Man Over Mars had been playing for a while before then, and then Tremaine got back to it when Prissy and I beat him, and he beat us back, but as it stands right now, I do hold the world record, because I beat him back again. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna try the task climb here. Shoutouts to Prissy for finding or implementing it RTA. It kind of works like in Mega Man 2. Nice, we got it! You have to place the carries in a specific way, and you can fall down and fall through, and then lots of things can go wrong there, but somehow, unbelievably enough, we managed to get the task climb. Whew! That's a run killer, I can say. I lost several world record runs to that stupid climb. At one point you just shake your head and cry. Oh well, we got it now, so that's good. We have enough health for the Wily fight. We should have enough health, unless he is a huge troll. We will survive this. Hopefully, we're not gonna jinx it. So, we do have the final fight in the game coming up. Let's see here if we can make it right. Ooh, okay. Whew. I almost messed it up there, but we are okay. Let's not hope we get a troll pixel and get killed by the Wily machine. So we use Anchor's weapon to send his shots back on him. That's the only way to damage him in this phase. There's a buffer set up to manipulate the claw. Time 18:53 on my timer. Alright, well, considering I had that death in Cutman, which cost me 35 seconds actually. This was actually not bad. We didn't have any major mishaps after that, so I can't really complain.